All right, what is up, nerds? Once again, we are here for Arrow Talk to talk about Season 4, Episode 9, Dark Waters. So what did you think about this episode, Dylan?
Well, this episode definitely did the whole mid-season finale thing right in comparison to The Flash. I don't know if you guys watched The Flash. Go ahead and check The Flash
Did you
out,
feel that way?
Yeah, I felt this one was...
I honestly feel the opposite about that.
You think The Flash was more mid-season finale and this was less so?
Until the very end. Until the very end of this episode.
Yeah,
there's this huge cliffhanger at the end. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I felt like The Flash was more of like a mid-season finale because it's Christmas and all that. You know,
sure, it had the theme.
That thing that TV does around this time of year.
This one felt like it had a little more, not necessarily shock value, but there was more...
Hanukkah?
There was more stuff on it. It was a very Hanukkah-centered episode. The Flash was very Christmas-centered. But yeah, so what did you think? Did you just thought it was...
I liked it.
Yeah.
It just felt a little. We'll get through each beach. So
Okay.
It starts out with that drone attack.
On the beach.
On the
After
bay.
That,
yeah.
They're doing the little volunteer work, cleaning up the bay. Oliver's gotten all these people to do this during Christmas, and everyone's like, how on earth has Mr. Queen gotten people to do volunteer work on Christmas Eve or whatever the day is? So it's kind of cool to see people rallying around Oliver and for his mayoral whole thing. And then all of a sudden, as everyone's just cleaning up, having a nice day, a drone starts flying overhead and starts shooting everyone. Everyone kind of freaks out. There's lots of kids there.
Yeah.
I thought kids were going to die.
I thought so too, but then I remembered it's a CW show.
Yeah, but I was like, oh my goodness.
And so the attack sort of rattles everyone. Team Arrow doesn't really know what to do.
No, yeah, they're completely dumbfounded.
But eventually they come up with a plan, which is essentially...
They don't even know if it's Hive and Dark.
They don't. That's the other thing. They never really confirmed like who was behind that drone attack.
I think we kind of...
Who else could it be?
Yeah.
But they still don't confirm it. Just like when their plan ends up being that they're going to out Damien Dark, they don't have proof for that either.
They're just like... Damien Dark is evil. No one even knows what Damien Dark is. Just believe me, just because I'm saying it. No one.
He holds up. This is the only known picture.
This is a picture, and it doesn't even have the facts I'm saying written down on it or anything. It's just word of mouth right now.
But as we later find out, Damien Dark sort of confirms everything.
By outing himself.
Oliver said by storming their little party.
Yeah, their campaign party. He just walks right in, starts laughing, grabs a drink. And I always love when villains do that too. Storm this big party and start doing their little
make a big entrance
villain speech, and it was cool. And I love him.
Neil McDonough.
He's
so good.
He was Dum Dum Dugan in the Captain America movies and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter and whatnot. And
oh, really?
Kind of switched from Marvel over to DC, and for the better, I think.
Yeah, no, he's killing it.
He's doing awesome as Damien Dark.
So when he storms this party, though, I pointed it out to you while we were watching. He does this weird thing where after he takes the wine, he says something, and then he looks over at...
towards Thea and...
Alex.
Yeah, Alex. And Thea's kind of like,
She kind of hides her face.
Yeah, she doesn't want to see him, and he kind of like,
He
makes a point of the fact that he recognizes or notices her in particular.
I think that was a callback to when he had her in his grip.
Choking her out and doing the whole death grip on her. And he's
just like, that chin looks familiar.
How does he not know Oliver's the Green Arrow with... whatever.
Well, so yeah, then they, Damien and his men take everyone except for Oliver.
Capture them all up.
Takes Thea, takes John, takes Felicity. Laurel is back at home base, I guess, answering hotline calls.
Yep.
Because they set up this hotline thing to get more info on Damien Dark.
So she's there doing that stuff, which keeps her,
keeps her safe also. But that means that they have to devise a new plan, and it's with the help of not only Laurel, but also
Detective Lance
and Malcolm.
Oh, and Malcolm. That's right, because we get that little picture of them later where it's Detective Lance, Laurel Lance, and Malcolm in the Arrow Cave.
In the Arrow Cave, yeah.
That looks so off, those three together.
That's what I was saying to you. I was like, I think this is the first time the three of them have been in a scene by themselves with no one else.
It looks goofy.
It looked kind of weird without Oliver being there.
It was cool, though.
But then the plan ends up being that they're going to go and Oliver's going to turn himself over to Damien Dark.
In return for his friends, for their safety. But Damien, of course, being Damien's like, nope.
Yeah.
Tosses, who was it? Diggle.
Thea.
Thea. I was going to say Speedy. Thea and Felicity all in this gas chamber. And Oliver's sitting there like,
he's just like, we had a deal.
On the window. He's all mad. He's like, who are you to do this? And I'm Damien Dark.
Yeah, he's just like, he even does the thing. He points at himself with both thumbs and he's like, bad guy.
Yeah, he's so cool. And he's got that awesome evil charisma that just makes him a good villain. But Oliver there right after, kind of proposing to Felicity and them having their little thing together, banging on the window, wanting to help her get out, and then all of a sudden we see in this back a figure in a green hood.
Yeah.
So,
because right before that, Oliver had the chance to talk to Felicity, and he's just like, "Don't worry," He basically warns her that, or tells her that backup is coming.
Yeah,
and she says like, "Well, he's not stupid. If he notices the Green Arrow's not here, he's gonna know who you are." Here. And then they have that covered because Malcolm dons the Green Arrow suit,
and we totally thought the whole time it was gonna be Roy.
I don't know if I really thought it, but that would have been really effing cool.
I think I started to think it and got way too excited about it because how.
Well, I mean, we know that actor is coming back, but it's probably going to be
next
half of the season.
That'd been cool.
It would have been awesome.
Yep. So we get Malcolm. We get an awesome fight scene with Malcolm as the Green Arrow and the Black Canary. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then Malcolm faces down Dillion by himself,
which is cool. I mean, that I feel like when you're putting Ra's al Ghul up against Damien Dark, and you have that fight scene the way they did, especially with Malcolm's weapon of choice, a bow.
Mm-hmm.
That fight scene felt a little watered down in a sense where it didn't feel like Malcolm could have kept up with Damien, like even a little bit.
Yeah,
like, sure, we get Damien's really evil, but I'm assuming we're supposed to still think that Malcolm's formidable, right?
And it turns out that Damien gets the upper hand by like force choking him.
Yeah, which I mean that's cool, but
and then Oliver tackles Damien, and then he lands a couple Malcolm lands a couple arrows in Damien, and then he puts one on the ground that's like an explosive arrow, and they walk away. Malcolm says some sort of spell.
Damien
says Damien says some sort of spell, and then explosion
building blows up,
and then he's fine, of course, because
of course.
He's a bad guy. But so another thing I wanted to bring up is that before we get to the last point is that they have, as usual, there's a flashback story going on.
Oh, yep, the underlying story from the island.
But who cares?
Yeah, it's never
like
for a while now. It hasn't been, especially this season, man. It has had nothing to do with anything.
I thought it was cool when Constantine showed up, but other than
that was just for Constantine. Ever since we haven't had Slade Wilson and his I can't think of his trainer's name back in season 1. Those were the only 2 flashback seasons. What even happened in season 3 in the flashbacks?
It was the Hong Kong stuff with
I hated the
Katana.
Hong Kong stuff. That was terrible.
I mean, I like Katana, but I really just liked her when she was in her suit.
Yeah, exactly. That whole whatever. It's cool. It tells his story from how he became so cool, but
yeah, I just hope it all comes together somehow.
Exactly.
Anyway, he goes swimming underwater in this flashback, and then a shark attacks him, and we
don't even get to see the shark attack, but yeah, he gets bit by a shark.
And then that guy that's working on the island finds him, and that's all we see.
Yeah.
But so one of the final things is that 2 points. 2 points. Damien has a family.
Yeah, that's going to be... I feel like they totally Kingpinned us on that one. That's supposed to be like... You know how in Daredevil they have this whole story for Kingpin that makes us feel for him, and we kind of have this relationship with him. I feel like they're trying to pull that on us with Damien Dark's family. I don't care that Damien has a family. He's so evil.
Yeah.
I hope his family dies.
Yeah. And how do they... I don't know. We'll get...
He's like someone that doesn't exist, but he has a family, and there's these people.
And a daughter, yeah. But also he's doing this. There are these people that keep following him around in every like underground scene where he's like hiding in his base or whatever. And then he shows this vast open cornfield. And, I was like, what is this?
My only thought right now is it's either some form of a mass production for his gas chamber stuff or a mind control substance, but
it seemed like a Batman Begins plotline where he wants to like reset Star City,
eradicate the city, and kind of like rebuild it from the ashes after he tears it down.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I mean, cool. I love that, and I get it. Very goes with the whole Star City theme, but
yeah, but then
what is that, Gordon?
When they're cutting between 2 things when they show that Damien has a family, and they're cutting between that and also we forgot Oliver proposed to
Oliver proposed to Felicity finally,
and she said yes. And then they're driving home, and they get stopped, and they get their car. They're
stopped at an intersection,
like a 3-way intersection,
and all of a sudden the driver slams on his brakes. We see these cars pull up, kind of boxing them in, and
they shoot the place up. Yeah. She gets hit. He's able to drive the limo away, but she gets hit, and we don't know, is she the one in the grave at the end of the premiere?
I want to say yeah, but the CW is going to be like, she's not actually dead. She's going to be fine. my top theory, and ever since I saw that little grave thing, episode 1, I thought Detective Lance is gonna be the one to die this season, and I'm still thinking, especially with him betraying Damien.
You think
Damien's not gonna be too happy? I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was clearly his men taking her out.
Yep.
Or trying to take both of them out, assumably. But yeah, no, we don't know we don't know if she's the one in the grave or not. But that's how the episode ends,
yeah.
and that's why I think that part makes it feel like a mid-season finale.
Yeah, because it's that big shock ending, and you're like, is she alive? Is she not?
Yeah, and so you want to wait and find
see,
out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So thanks guys for watching. This has been Arrow Talk for season 4, episode 9, Dark Water. Very good episode. If you haven't watched our other episodes, go check them out. Leave a comment below to let us know what you guys think, and subscribe to the channel.